The time is nigh, open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up off the water. Never let them wrestle you into.
Wait, hold up. We on? Shucks. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazira Menin. One perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yes, family, it's been a long week. This was a long week. I don't know about y'all, but this week was a long week. I mean, the heat was one thing, exams another thing. Cinco de Mayo, man, the week of Cinco de Mayo. Are we really liberated? Is the question tonight. That was good. Well, that's definitely good. So listen, family, go tell a friend to tell a friend. We got a lot to discuss. We got some new candidates in this by-election. Got to talk about that. We also got to talk about Ms. Mortley's new statements, the IMF matters. We also got to talk about bribery in plain sight. Yes, bribery in plain sight. Is the DLP bribing voters? We got some evidence on that as well. Also, the Attorney General has been asked to step down by his own cabinet. BLP, I don't know if that's real, but if it's real, we're going to look at it for sure. We're going to touch on that for sure. Guess what? This is Guy Smiley's time for sure. I'm saying Guy Smiley because, you know, he seemed to be always smiling, but nevertheless, we're going to touch on that. And we're going to go across the water to Guyana. We're going to get an update on the situation with Adriana Young. Like I said, there's some things we just want to put forward. There's food for thought. And also, what else we have? What else we got tonight? Listen, we got a full house. We got some videos to dissect. And you know, I tell you, when these politicians, in fact, there's an old saying, if you want to know when a politician is lying, let them talk. And we have some footage that is a bit damaging. Well, it could be damaging, but it at least leads to questions. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss that at all. Coming right up. Tonight is going to be hot off the press. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be hot up in here. I even got the AC up on in here, make sure that cool the place down for sure. Yeah. By the way, the tank is doing exceptionally well. Everybody's settling. I made a serious mistake, and it was a painful one. I lost one or two of my young ones that I pretty much raised, and that was a bit But anyhow, yeah, they good to go. You can see them. They're having fun. They good. But anyhow, family, learning curve. So before we get tonight, we go make sure I shout my people out. Listen, we got a full house. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all not gonna believe this, man. Are we really liberated? Is the question. Remember, if you want to call in, it's a free up Friday. Feel free to call in as well. Express yourself. The number is on the screen. Politically Incorrect. Usually on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. This is what it's supposed to be. We know at 8 p.m. Also, we appreciate your support. Our PayPal account is eBarilia@gmail.com. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all already know. And you can always email us as well if you have some information. Give thanks to the inbox crew. Give thanks for the information as well. If you want to call in, the number is on the screen. Area code 246-838-8253. 246-838-8253. Let me go ahead and put some eyes in the sky here real quick. Let's get this drone view going. There we go. Turn the volume down. And big shout out to Kadaki, by the way, your whole family in Guyana. Y'all already know how it is, man. Had a great time this morning on the program, sharing. It was live and in living color. So having said that, let's just jump right into this, family. Listen, at this point, I was told by one of my advisors, tell the people to like and share the thing, man. Stop not say, tell them, everybody to say it, you say it too. So this is for you that called and told me to say it. I'm telling y'all, if you haven't liked the page already, in fact, they said they weren't getting the notifications anymore. And a lot of people are telling me not getting notifications. So this is what you do, family. Go back, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Make sure you click on all so that you get all the notifications. Because if you don't click the all notifications, what happens is that the computer, the algorithm, decides what you should and shouldn't see. So make sure if you're on Facebook, you like the page, make sure you like the page, make sure you follow the page, make sure you also click all notifications to get all notifications. If you haven't done so as yet, you're on YouTube, go on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, click that bell and click all in order to make sure you don't miss a beat. If you miss a beat, then, that's how it go. But anyhow, we want to give big shout out to Empress, early. Good night, family. Good night. Tonight is People's Appreciation Night for sure. We got a lot of videos to share. Yes, lots of videos to share, man, and some stuff, man. Y'all not gonna believe what Miss Motley had to say. Miss Motley, I don't know. You're gonna have to talk about this one here, man. And listen, don't think that I don't know y'all just watch the program, because I see the things y'all be doing. And I don't think it's a matter of great minds thinking alike. But I don't have a problem with it, man. Let's get this thing together, man. One Barbados. Greetings to the Rasta, man. You're on tonight. Yes, King Alfred. I know. Someone told me, why you doing? Listen, man, sometimes I be out working, yeah. I got to make $1 out of 15 cents. You know what I'm saying? YouTube ain't paying me. So sometimes I got to make $1. So please forgive me if you didn't see me. Know that it's not because I don't want to. I be wanting to come on here every night if I could come on here every night. But it doesn't always work out like that. We're just catching up on the show I missed. Okay, good for sure. Greetings to you too, Beverly. Listen, Beverly, I ain't gonna put you out there, right? But who's that tall fella you was on the patio with the other day? I know I passed by your place and see you outside in the long chair swinging on the patio with a tall, strapping looking young fella. I had to tell myself, that must be your son. I hope so here. Anyhow, Beverly, it's all good, man. It's good to see you on, giving you some heat. Sean, good on, brethren. Greetings. So drop the link to Politically Incorrect. If that's what you mean, family, let me know if that's what you mean. I go ahead and drop that. Greetings to you too, brethren, Rastafari. In fact, for those observing today as a sacred day, Shabbat Shalom, y'all already know. Assalamu alaikum to the community. Islam, peace, you know what I'm saying? Hotep, Ashe to the conscious community. Namaste to the brothers and sisters out in the east. Kidamari to my brethren and sister, and you don't know how it go, Rastafari forever. And for everybody else in the world, man, it's pure love and pure light. Tonight is pure energy night. So trust when I tell you, we got a lot of stuff to share. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Jackie, shout out to my whole Brooklyn people, my whole NYC people, all my family up there in NYC. Y'all already know it's all love, love, love. Pedro, greetings to you too. Pedro, you're going to love this tonight, man. I got something for you, especially for you, Pedro. Trust when I tell you, stick around. Elder, what's going on, brethren? Greetings to all. Yes. The link to call in. Oh, excuse me. Wait, hold on a minute. Got you covered. So you could call the number or you could come on the live. I'm going to click the live as well. I ain't had some folks on the live in a minute. We're going to put some folks here. I'm going to paste the link. So the StreamYard link to the live is in the comments. Make sure you're using Chrome. It works better on a Chrome browser. You can show your face if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. That choice is yours. But the link, Empress, the link is up for sure. Beverly say, Emmanuel, you lucky I ain't took pictures. I was going to take some pictures and send to you. I was like, nah, Black Lion Security in full effect, man. Happened to be in the right place at the right time. Greetings to you too, family. Greetings. Remember, family, the link to the studio is on the screen. If you want to come on in and share, feel free. We're going to have a full night. And so let me just jump right into it, not waste any more time. But do me a solid, family, and do your friend a solid. Think of somebody or 2 people or 3 people that you know would appreciate the program. And I'm going to pause for a second and go send them a link. Go send them a link to the program, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. Go drop it in your WhatsApp group real quick. Give me a second. They're right there pulling, man. Not pulling. Ooh, yeah. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. That's how we doing this tonight, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Miss Cumberbatch, how you been, man?
Real news for the people in real time.
Real news for the people in real time. Having said that, family, let's taxi down the runway. So where do we start tonight, family? Where do we start tonight? Like I said, I usually have something in mind, but it don't always go that way. And so we're going to do the internet. You know what? Let's do the international news first, then bring it home to Miss Motley, Big Chad Blackman, Felicia Dujon. And yes, we have 2 additional candidates actually that's going to be in the upcoming election as well. And it's interesting because Stephanie Williams and Alex Mitchell, y'all already know Alex Mitchell. Big shout to Alex Mitchell, by the way. I got Barbados today had an article, did an article on Alex, well, technically on Alex, in terms of the candidates barely making it to nomination registration, the whole thing. And it's interesting because they said they spoke about him in that capacity, but they didn't show a picture of Alex. They had a picture of some other guy that was the guy that's working there that took the oath, the Electoral Boundary Commission guy or whatever his name is. And I'm thinking to myself, Barbados today, that's real disingenuous, man. Put Alex picture up so people can see who it is. Give me some publicity and visibility. Otherwise, they're gonna start to think that when they're getting paid by the BLP, straight, because that one looks suspicious, man. In fact, we're gonna get to that. So we're gonna go ahead and do the international news first, and we're gonna get to it otherwise. So, having said that, let me start with this one right here. Now, I won't go back to show the body at this point. The young lady, young princess Adriana Young, at the side of the pool where the father took her out. I mean, lots of videos are circulating. You can probably find it. What I want to talk about briefly is the fact that rigor mortis. The thing with rigor mortis is that, as fate would have it, the universe, unfortunately, and again, more condolence to the family, a man also drowned in Guyana this week, almost a week to the date, give or take. And so they showed him in the pool at nighttime. They actually have footage of his situation where he entered the pool, he was swimming around for a little bit, and then they don't show the rest of it. But then in the morning, they show him that he was unalive at the bottom of the pool. You could see him clearly at the bottom of the pool. And so they brought some guys in, they brought a team in, and they went in, and basically they took him out. When they brought him out in the morning, and this was early morning, his body has already entered a state of rigor mortis, which means the body was completely stiff, like literally stiff. There was no bending, no moving of nothing. Everything was seized up completely. There was no discoloration, nothing of such. There was some mucus in the membrane, the nose membrane, but however, that's to be expected, and at the mouth a bit frothing. But that was the extent of it. So imagine that they claiming that this young lady would have drowned in this pool, according to what they're trying to sell to the public as a narrative. And you can clearly see when her father jumped in there and took her out, that her body was still warm because her limbs were all moving. Her mother was moving her head back and forth. She was still warm up to, a few minutes afterwards, perhaps even up to an hour afterwards. So although they said they couldn't give you a time of death, here's what they could have done. Based on this, in fact, they said the body was starting to decompose. Now, that is such a fraudulent statement. It goes to show that even the pathologist's report cannot be trusted, because the body had not begun to decompose. You know what decomposing means? It would take a while before it even got to that state of being visibly decomposing. Rigor mortis hadn't even set in yet. So how the body gonna start to decompose? That's again some of the lies they would have told. So I want y'all to go and look up rigor mortis. What are the 6 stages of rigor mortis? In fact, I got a link here. I'm going to give you the link. It's from the medicnet.com website. I'm going to copy this real quick. So I'm going to put that link up here for those who have been following that case, who may know the family. These are things I'm sure others have started to realize. but rigor mortis had never set in, not at that stage, which means that she was alive up until that morning. So something ain't right. So if she was alive up to that morning, it means that she wasn't in the pool. She was never in the pool and clearly did not drown in the pool. But they got rid of they drained the pool, so you can't even compare water samples. I don't know if they took a sample of the pool water before they drained the pool, or they deliberately drained the pool so as not to have a sample of the pool water to compare the water in her lungs. But you know what? They're trying so hard to mess this up that they're gonna literally messing it up. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna mess up messing it up. And that's how serious this is, man. But anyhow, I put that link up there on Facebook. Go check that link out. What are the stages of rigor mortis? Please go check it out and see for yourself, educate yourself. Then go back and look at the video and realize that her body was not nowhere near that state. And if you like, there's also on the Guyanese news videos of the other man, again, more strength to his family as well. I hate to have to juxtapose this for this purpose, but this is a learning tool and we have to use it. Universe gave us, like God gave us an answer. Imagine that, like in less than a week, somebody else was, in a situation where they naturally drowned, to show the world what it would be like if a person had drowned. Now, I don't know if this man had a heart attack or stroke while he was swimming, because it was a case where he was seen in the pool, clearly looked like he was swimming. And he walked in on his own free accord. It wasn't like he fell in and then, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe, again, we don't know. So, I don't know. So that's how it went down. But anyhow, unfortunately for the gentleman, but his circumstances showed clear evidence of someone who drowned in their pool. Clear evidence. I like that one, Empress, for sure. That's how we know that this young lady was not a natural cause. And so the Guyanese police the whole thing is a mess, man. But this is the age of Aquarius. That's what it is, man. Having said that, though, and speaking of the Guyanese and the police, let me just go ahead and pull this one up right here off the top. Let me just go jump right into this. Let me go ahead and share this one here. How do I do this now? Share screen. Give me a second. Let me go and share this one with you, so y'all can see what's going on in Guyana. And shout out to the gentleman that runs this page as well. Been doing a lot of good works. Let me go ahead and share this right here real quick.
It would appear as if the Commissioner of Police, Clifton Hicken, is unaware of the stage of which the Adriana Young investigation now stands. Lawyers representing the victim's family met with the Commissioner on Wednesday morning, but they left that meeting with several unanswered questions.
Who really is heading this investigation? Who the investigators are in this investigation? No answer. What really are you investigating? Are you investigating? Have you ruled out homicide? Are you investigating homicide? No answer. Samples have been sent overseas for testing. What tests are you hoping to be conducted from those samples? No answer.
That's lead attorney for Adriana's family, Dr. Dexter Todd. It was President Irfan Ali who said that he instructed the Commissioner of Police to assemble a special team to lead the investigation into all the circumstances surrounding the death of the child. Lead attorney Todd said that the police
All right, all right, all right. So where were we?
Of course, all that they were prepared to say from the commissioner's level is that they are doing a comprehensive investigation, but they're not at liberty at this stage to say what really the comprehensive investigation will entail.
Attorney UC Anderson said that Young's family could not get a response from the Commissioner of Police and his team on the family's desire to have a second autopsy done.
We asked specifically whether or not the force is opposed to a second autopsy. We were told no answer where that is concerned as well.
Adriana Young went missing on Wednesday, April 23, 2025, while on a family outing with her grandmother and other relatives at the Doubleday International Hotel poolside at Tushin on the east bank of Essequibo. Her body later appeared in the pool of the Doubleday Hotel on April 24, 2025. The discovery of Adriana's body in the swimming pool of the hotel sparked protest action at Tushin on the east bank of Essequibo. The very pool was searched prior to the appearance of the child's body. It has been confirmed that initial searches of that pool didn't yield any evidence that a body was in that swimming pool. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
All right, Mr. Travis Chase, we want to thank you for that report. Like you said, the lawyer is basically claiming that the interview they had with the police yielded nothing, nothing at all. It's as if they are on autopilot, awaiting instructions as to what to do next. Perhaps they're trying to keep it hush hush. Who knows? That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Nevertheless, more strength goes out to the family. Again, I can't imagine. And I want Guyana and Guyanese to pay attention because the world is watching. It can't be business as usual. When they could blatantly do this in broad daylight and go through all this dropping of the ball and all the madness is happening. Family, you got to pay attention. You can't not pay attention. You can't afford to not pay attention. It's a new day. It's a new dawn, man. Greetings to you too, family. Greetings. Because they are lying. Plus, anyone they say drowning instead of drowning, I would not trust. Well, at this point, there's another young man or more than one individual who allegedly drowned at that location in that same pool. So maybe all these other cases should be opened up for reinvestigation. It's that kind of time, but when they try to find evidence, that body will be badly decomposed. Well, Sean, I like to think that at this point, they've gotten the attention of some international investigators. Again, we'll see what that yields. But we know how the Caribbean is when it comes to certain things. I mean, I remember Ayakobi Maloney. Shout out to Ayakobi Maloney as well here in Barbados, who they claim jumped off a cliff. His death was labeled as misadventure. I don't even know what kind of madness is that. Good night to you too, family. How you doing, Monica? Greetings to you, blessings to all. So that's what's going on there on the international scene, family. So can't say much else about that, man. It's just a mad situation that will require a lot more than just the emotions of things, but for us to be watchful and vigilant regarding this situation. So stay focused on what's happening in Guyana. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep her spirit alive and well in the minds of all those who might be involved. You know what I'm saying? Well, in other news, I don't have the video here. I do have a video, but I didn't want to play it. I guess y'all would have heard that India would have launched some missiles into Pakistan. Yes, India has launched some missiles into Pakistan, and also a hospital in Tel Aviv has been, I guess, also set on fire, something along those lines. And why am I saying this? There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. I mean, on a major level as we speak. Caribbean people, we got to realize that we got to start buckling down at home. We got to start holding these ministers and whatnot accountable for the things that they've been doing and claim to have been doing. There's a lot of stuff. So let me go and jump right into this off the top. There's a by-election coming up in Barbados, and there's been 2 additional candidates added to it. Like I said here, Stephanie Williams and Alex Mitchell, if that's the 2 names. Now, I don't know much about the young lady. And if anybody is aware of her, anybody who knows her, please give her my number. The number is on the screen. Well, it's on the screen somewhere. Would definitely like to have a conversation with her and perhaps give her some airtime, because you know how it is. Some of the other networks may not give them the time or the day to speak their truth of what their plans and intentions are. 246-838-8253. Let them, contact me, and they could come on and speak and share with Barbados, the wider Barbados who might not be in the area or who might not get to see or hear about them, to find out, how important it is for them to represent them in this upcoming selection. Again, shout out to Alex Mitchell and the young lady, Miss Williams. I applaud both of them and look forward to hearing what they bring to the table. But speaking of table and bringing, they had another roadside meeting first night. And for me, personally speaking, no, don't get me wrong. Let me go back to the number right here. I wrote it down. I hope I don't get it wrong, man. I hope I don't get it wrong. Let me go ahead and refresh this page, because this might need refreshing. Yes, there you go. There you go. So let me put this one up real quick here too. Let me just go ahead and share screen real quick. Bam. Yes. So they had a spot meeting, first night. And so I listened to part of it. Boy, was I glad. Like, you can't make this stuff up. I ain't listened to all of it, just for the record. But there were some things said, man, that had me wondering. And I'm going to share it with you in a few minutes and see what you have to say also. Pedro said, the lawyer said the body is still good and not decaying. Yeah, that's another thing. Thanks for that one, Pedro. They said that it was not really the truth when they said the body was decomposed. When they did the check, she wasn't. And again, that was also false information coming out of the pathologist's office. Well, after they did the autopsy. So you know that something ain't right, family. We know something ain't right, man. Was talking about Kobe Maloney just a few days ago. Justice will be served for all the injustices done to others. Yeah, greetings to you too, Sharon. Greetings, shalom, shalom. It is crazy, man, but it's the truth. Drop the link again, please. It disappeared when I had a refresh the live. The link is in the comments. If you go back up somewhere, you'll see it. If not, let me see how would I do this again. I've got to go back. Hold on. I'm gonna get you. Let me see that right there. Got you. Yeah, so that's what's going on, family. That's what's been happening. The thing though is that a lot of information was given out. When you start to dissect it, you start to realize that it isn't as accurate as they've been telling us. So, that's the catch. The link is there on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Those who are viewing on YouTube and those who are on Facebook, the link is on Facebook, on my personal page, Emmanuel Barillia, and on Politically Incorrect Facebook page as well. Feel free to click and like, join the live. Give me a few. I want to touch on this briefly while we at it in the interest of time. So, like I said, they had this thing going on, and yeah, let me go ahead and find the spot that they were talking about, because I wrote some timestamps down because I had to. I almost couldn't believe it. So I don't know if this is the spot I want to start at, or this is the spot I want to start at. Let me see. So let me see first, because there was so much. I couldn't believe it. But I want y'all to listen to this carefully. Very carefully. And I'm going to ask you something. Is it should you be able to bribe? Can you bribe people to vote for you? Can you pay for votes? Is it possible to pay for votes? Or rather yet, do you think politicians pay for votes? Is a question.
Weeks straight.
Yeah.
I don't
Let me go back.
to eat lunch.
Let me go back.
March. And I said to myself, this is a true Labour Party man.
All right.
I sat and listened to Chad when he first spoke in the Senate. And I said to myself, this is a true Labour Party man. You know that we have had a couple of debates since the estimates passed in March. in the Senate. You know, it Dems didn't turn up. Major pieces of legislation have been debated in the Senate. No person at all from the Democratic Labour Party.
Now, hold on a second. Now, wait a minute. Is this true? Because I haven't watched the Senate in a while. I haven't seen it, quite frankly. For those who are paying attention, you're telling me that what he's saying is true, that they have passed a few major legislations and nobody from the DLP has showed up to even challenge, speak against it. Nothing at all. Wait, hold on. Let me let him finish say what he's saying, man.
When the big fluffy fella come to,
I don't know who he's referring to as big fluffy fella. I really don't know who he's calling fluffy fella. But
in the Senate, no person at all from the Democratic Labour Party. When the big fluffy fella come to eat lunch, to record that he was there, come late. And when the leader on our side has finished speaking,
I'm gonna have to go back and look and see that. Is that true? Nah, that ain't true, man. He called the big fluffy fella. First of all, I wonder who he talking about, fluffy fella. But you mean that nobody had nothing to say? Yo, where's Tricia Watson when you need her? Where is Tricia? Can we get a sign like, you know how the Batman sign is put in the sky over Gotham and Batman would come to the rescue? We need to get a TW sign or something and see if Tricia, where are you, Tricia? Tricia Watson, calling Tricia Watson. Please, somebody call Tricia Watson. We want to get you on Politically Incorrect, so perhaps you can address some of these matters that are going on that Barbadians are unaware that's going on, to get a perspective of somebody who knows what's going on about what's going on so that we can know what's going on. Because apparently they got some funny, fluffy fella that only come in for the food.
Nothing to say.
And has nothing to say.
Now that, I don't know what the media has reported, but you cannot have 2 weeks straight of a debate in the Senate on major pieces of legislation.
The man said there were major. Imagine the BLP minister saying that these are major pieces. These are not regular. These are some serious things. And he's claiming that
a seaport industry bill, a bill to transform the fisheries sector, and nary a word from the DLP. Not a single sentence. We didn't see Ryan Walters in the Senate in weeks. Have not seen him. And I'm led to understand that when Edmund Hinkson had his last day in Parliament, when Parliament met in an extraordinary session to pay tribute to Edmund, that Ralph Thorne did not attain. Now that is a low in the politics of Barbados, if there ever was one. So we have, and I am not surprised, because if you could kick out the women from the party, the young socialists from the party, the young Democrats from your party, because we won't kick out young socialists. We don't operate like that. The old people from the party, stalwarts from the party, people that win seats, all of them have to kiss the political ring. I went to court last week and they got young lawyers who run under Verla. Can't meet Ralph I because them ain't bow down and kiss the short man ring. They can't understand. They're working in the constituency, running the last election, get the tail cut, like I get mine cut by Chris Sinclair. But we will get your tail cut and you come again. But them ain't get select because somebody meet in a room and say, no, you ain't kiss my ring, you ain't bow down to me.
Well, that's some strong accusations. He's claiming that, the new DLP has a whole different order going on, and they're not respecting the people that are the veterans and the young ones, the up and comings. This was first night. This happened yesterday. Pedro said, played Colin Jordan's clip Man, don't even start me on that. I got some other ones to play. So I don't know if I'm gonna get to call in tonight, but y'all need to go. In fact, let me put the link up for this. Who's interested in going and hearing aspects of it? I mean, don't worry, I gonna get into some more though. I gonna get into some more in a minute. Some more. We don't elect them. The lobbyists elect politicians. Oh, somebody gonna drop the science tonight. Shout out to Atlanta, by the way. All the folks in ATL. Big shout to all my folks in America. Now in Barbados. Yes. You can buy votes. You can buy votes. Okay. Remember you said that, right? Remember you said that. Somebody said, of course you can buy votes. Yeah, Monica, that was last night. Somewhere in West and Husband Road or something like that. They've got enough fluffies in their camp. Who do he mean? Which one? I don't know. Who the fluffies are. The mini fluffies don't mix, so I can't tell who fluffy and who ain't fluffy. I don't have a clue. When I'm fluffy in my house is a pillow. He just said he does not know what the media reported. Yes, he does. So you have to take what he is saying with a grain of salt. Well, what I understood by that is that I don't think the news was saying that they did not show up in Parliament. I think what he was trying to suggest is that the media talks about the Senate, but may not speak about the LP not being present in the Senate. But he would know because he's also in the Senate as well. So from that perspective, but I don't know, you know, point of view. They will kiss Trump, right? All right. Well, I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but time will tell, Pedro. Time will definitely tell. The link to this is here. There's some other stuff I want to jump on real quick. Hang on real quick. Let me go ahead and touch this.
And I want you to examine the facts as they are. Because despite the messaging that you might see in the headlines in the newspapers and in the clips in social media about what is going on in politics in Barbados, I want Barbadians to dig deeper than the headlines, and to recognize that you have a masquerading bunch of misfits who are incapable of understanding the global issues that confront this country.
Our direction as a union for taking that bold step.
Hold on now.
I am sure today that many of you can see the distance that we have come.
Okay, so I don't normally do this, family, but for one of the very first times, I have an opportunity to hear Miss Moore speak about union and stuff like that. What I thought was very interesting about this particular presentation is some things that she said that she can. In fact, I'll let it play, but I need y'all to pay attention to what she's saying about her own political party. Listen to this carefully, family. Listen to this carefully. And again, if I'm wrong, man, somebody call me and correct me. You know, tell a friend, man.
From having to beg for attention, starved of decisions that would impact the livelihoods of working men and women and their families in a positive way. I want you to recall the distance we've come, because the thing is about us in this society is when things seem to come too easy, we forget. And we also undervalue the significance of everything that we have achieved. So very quickly, I want to recall to your attention the distance that we have come in the last 4.5 years. The first thing that happened 6 months after I became a member of Parliament, a minimum wage was introduced in Barbados effective April 1st, 2021. All
right, so let me just pause here for a second. So she's claiming at this point that when she came in 2021, a minimum wage was then introduced, I guess, for the first time in Barbados, is what she's trying to make it seem like. Which is funny because what she about to say next is going to be jaw-dropping. And I want y'all to understand the context. How people see you is how they speak to you. Because if she felt that she was dealing with a set of intelligent beings, I don't know if she would say the things that she's about to say. I mean, you can't make this up. All right, family? Bear with me, family. Let me go back here a little bit. Let me set the pace, man. It's like a cricket match. About to send in the fast bowler, man. Beer bounces at your head, man. Let's have a listen.
The first thing that happened 6 months after I became a member of parliament, a minimum wage was introduced in Barbados effective April 1st, 2021. And if you are a working man or woman, especially in the lower strata, and you are in this crowd, I think you should clap for that. In a few days, effective June 1st, that minimum wage will be increased by $2 from $8.50 to $10.50 an hour. That is something to clap about, although I have some complaints about it as well, Minister of Labor.
Okay, so let me get this here straight. Hang on a second. Let me get this straight.
To $10.50. In a few days, effective June 1st, that minimum wage will be increased by $2 from $8.50 to $10.50 an hour. That is something to clap about, although I have some complaints about it as well.
Although I have some complaints about it as well. Now, wait a minute. Now, this is where it's a conflict of interest. This is why I say to you that she should never be in charge of a union and a politician at the same time. Because you openly admitting that she has issues with this so-called increase in minimum wage from $8.50 to $10.50, $2, which we spoke about in the program previously. You're working 8 hours a day, but that's basically bus fare. That's a day's bus fare you're talking about. You know, that's like bus fare, because some folks got to catch 2 buses, which is $14. I mean, 2 8s is $16. So you got bus fare and a $2 bill left back, basically. And of course, 5 days a week, do the math, family. So all I'm saying that is to say that they actually think that they're doing you a favor. They like I'm saying to you, when you listen, they really believe that they're doing you a favor by giving you $10.50 in exchange for your sweat equity, your life force energy that is given by God, that people with $1 billion would pay millions to have more life in them. They're giving you $10.50 an hour. And you're supposed to be grateful for that if you're in the lower strata, quote, unquote. But hold on, admit that you have a problem with it. I wonder what kind of problem she has with it as a union rep now. You think it's too much money, Miss Moore, to give the lower strata folks? Or you think that they deserve more, in which case you're willing to settle for the 2? But hold on a minute again, my perspective. Let's see what she has to say.
Minister of Labor, but that for another time. We heard in the budgetary proposals, the statement this year, that paternity leave is going to be put into law. And this is something that the union under Frank Walcott, come down to Sir Roy Trotman, and now to Tony Moore, has been included into agreements over time to ensure that eventually we could get it into law. That has been achieved. Only 3 weeks as a starter, but we're working on that.
Now, let me say this real quick. They actually, look, they believe that they're doing you a favor. A mother who has just had a baby, we're going to put paternity leave into law. So let me get this here straight. I will put it into law that you must be allowed to stay at home for 90 days. I think they said they're going to increase it to 4 months now rather than 3 months. So after my baby is born, I only get to spend 3 months home, and then back on the treadmill, back on the wine press, back on the plantation. I got to stick that child that just came into the world in somebody else's care, some random stranger somewhere, or some hopefully, well, mostly daycare. Most families are out working. Rather than say that we're going to allow mothers who have just had a baby a minimum, listen to this carefully. Man, y'all pray I don't become prime minister. I tell you, boy, a minimum of 1 year, minimum. A minimum of a year with pay. Why not? Why can't the mother be home with the child to nurture the child in that early stage, that first learning stage? You know what I'm saying? So they're in a womb for 9 months. And after 90 days, you're going to rip that child apart from his mother. The only heartbeat and rhythm it knows, outside of perhaps the father and the family by extension after birth, and stick it in somebody random hands. Then you want to know why the children are the way they are, disconnected and neglected and have these little insecurities and whatnot. Come on. And they really talking, we're going to make sure you get your 90 days before you got to be back at work. Rather than allowing the mother and the child to bond and learn together, and the mother could do what she's been doing from day one. They really think they do you a favor. This is why I'm saying, family, don't let these folks fool you, man. They out of the mouth. They tell you their agenda. They have no love for the people of this country. None, Chad, none of them. None of them. Listen, these are the folks that are telling you to vote for him. And listen to what they're saying. Let me let her tell you some more. Hold on, Miss Moore. Come on, give us more.
We have seen maternity leave increase by 2 weeks, from 12 weeks to 14.
Give you 2 more weeks. Look, family, hold on, let me let her finish.
What else have we received?
Listen, Miss Moore, I think you need to quit while you ahead. That's why I keep saying, family, when they said she had pedigree, I understood that. Because in George North, there's a plantation known as the Moore Plantation. And I wouldn't be surprised if, by descendant, you know what, man? Look, man, come here. You tell the people what time it is.
A labor budget this year guaranteed every citizen in Barbados above the age of 18 years old a solidarity allowance of $300.
Okay, so my question was, can you buy votes?
We have seen increases to the allowance for tax purposes of union dues. And by the way, if any of you filed and you saw that 240 was still in there, Brad got some adjustment to do because the government of Barbados committed us that from income year 2024. So we have seen also tax-free allowances, meal allowances for hotel and restaurant workers. And why is this significant? Because the hotel sector came into strong focus during COVID, when many workers agreed to give up their severance. And then after that, after recovery, we saw hotels trying to pull back even the meal allowance and things that the people got, and then try to convince them that they shouldn't push for it because the government going to tax it anyhow, and they might end up getting less money if they get more meal allowance. So we fixed that, and the meal allowances are now tax-free. On the
meal allowances. So once you work, well, it's crazy. They give you a meal allowance working in a hotel, but they ain't giving you dividends and shares and interest in the company. So you can make a little wealth for your family and yourself. You just keep picking up them sheets and fold up the blankets and, carry out the bags and the garbage, clean the room. You just go ahead and get a meal allowance. We can, we ain't going to give you no shares in this thing though. You would think that Barbados government would actually own majority, at least a third of the hotels in Barbados, so that the money that is made from these hotels could go back into Barbados and Barbadians in terms of building wealth for the people of this nation. Let it tide raise up all the boats at the same time. But no. These ideas seem too far-fetched. They're not far-fetched, family. They cares nothing about you or your children. Let me skip and get on the road a little bit here, man. Let me get on the road a bit quick. Let me just get forward a bit here because in the interest of time. The
$300 in anything. In fact, I have heard but yours does not go by before adjustment. This is very little vexed with the minister of not having is enough to suffice. If a living wage instead of a minimum wage, that is enough to suffice getting by on, was to be achieved, that the rate should not have been $8.50. It should have been $12.15. And this is very little vexed with the Minister of Labor because it should not have taken 4 years for us to do the adjustment. But we are working on it, and I will ensure that another 4 years does not go by before the next adjustment.
Did she just say that? Wait, hold on. Did y'all catch that? Let me go back. Listen, look, family, if I am wrong here, please somebody correct me, man. Listen to this.
Because I could hear them saying, don't mind them. She up there talking about an additional $2 in the minimum wage. That is a 24% increase to businesses. The government, they made businesses bankrupt. But I want you to know that back in 2021, when the minimum wage was introduced, it was understood that a family of 4, a mother and 3 children, If a living wage instead of a minimum wage that is enough to suffice getting by on was to be achieved, that the rate should not have been $8.50. It should have been $12.15. Now this is
So you telling me that back when y'all did this assessment in Barbados at the time, cost of living and so on and so forth, the rate to get by, quote, on just to get by, quote unquote, was determined to be $12.15. Yet you claiming that your government brought minimum wage in and y'all didn't give the $12.15, although you probably should have given more. Y'all give $8.50 instead, knowing, according to you now, Miss Moore, that the rate should have been $12.15. I know y'all raised it to $10, which is still significantly lower in a day and age, how many years later, where the cost of living in Barbados is even higher than it was back when this was first done. You're telling me now that you're still coming under the fact that it's still less than 12, and you're claiming that y'all did something for the people. It is obvious what y'all have done to the people. Y'all didn't do something for the people. Y'all did something to the people. And what was that? Disenfranchise and cause folks to have to struggle harder than they have to. And why you gonna get on the stage now and act as if y'all have done some miraculous thing for Barbadians? I don't know, man. Like nobody ain't read your script before you read the script, because you ain't sticking to the script, because like you exposing the script. But wait, family, there's more. Hold on, more. Give us some more. I gotta look. I love this more now, man. Give us some more.
To be achieved, that the rate should not have been $8.50. It should have been $12.15. And this is where I'm a little vexed with the Minister of Labor.
This way I'm a little vexed as a union rep. Listen, I don't know what union she's in charge of. You know why the union people cannot say nothing? Because a lot of the union people in this union are probably affiliated with the party. So they really can't say a word. Can't say a word. A lot of them get their jobs because they're affiliated with this party. Can't say a word. They're not really free. The question is, Cinco de Mayo, right? Liberation Day. Are we really liberated, family? We see this stuff going on. You folks in this woman union, you listen to her talk about how they deliberately kept money from you that they know that you would have needed to barely get by. The amount to get by, just to scrape by, was $4 more than they decided to give you. Madness, man.
Because it should not have taken 4 years for us to do the adjustment. But
4 years to do an adjustment, and even the adjustment is still less than what it should have been 4 years ago. You still below par.
We are working on it, and I will.
But we're working on it, right?
Ensure that another 4 years does not go by before the next adjustment.
Yeah, there's a promise to a fool. They literally gave you. They started by shortchanging you, still shortchanging you. Raise it and still shortchange you, and she gonna get on stage and claim that we gonna work towards getting it to $12.15. I bet if they did an assessment then, whenever that would be, I bet what the cost of living would have been, not the minimum wage, but she said the cost of living. Imagine the cost of living is more than the minimum wage, but yet you're supposed to get by with it. They actually tell you this, family. They tell you this in front of your face.
And then we will hear, but that minimum wage and this $300, the $300 ain't anything. In fact, I have heard trade unionists trying to suggest to some of their members that it is to replace public sector increases. If a government gives a $300 solidarity gesture to everybody, how could that be something that is intended to replace negotiations unless you don't know how to negotiate?
Okay, pause for a second here. Let me break this down real quick. If you're gonna do me a favor, family, I'm gonna ask y'all do me a favor. Screenshot this segment of Politically Incorrect and share this with your friends. I'm gonna say this only once. Okay? Y'all listening? The $300 Solidarity Initiative is designed to entrap you and those who have not voluntarily went for the ID cards to now go for ID cards. Because although they're not saying it to you, one of the conditions of getting this money when you go to register is that you have to bring ID. And so if the agents are told to tell you, well, we don't accept that old ID anymore, and you still want that $300, we got all the information you need. Would you like us to process and send you an ID card? Because they got all your information to do it. And once you agree, yes, then you have now been added to the stock of the Republic of Barbados. Because right now, they obviously didn't get the numbers they were looking for. So who didn't go forward and get the card for free are now being paid to do so. Perhaps it was always the budget. You come and get this money, man. Don't worry about it. It's a one-time thing, but if there are 4 persons, in fact, I'll let her tell you that in a minute. But believe you me, family, it's a way to get folks to come for that ID card, man. They're about to pay you for ID card. But before I go into that part, because I got a video to play on that too. I got a video for that, family. Can politicians bribe voters? Can you bribe voters? I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to expose something in a minute, man. Give me a minute. Let me let Miss Moore give you a little more. Hang on, Moore. Come on, Moore.
So the $300 allowance that they scoff at, I was talking to a constituent of mine only on Sunday evening who was asking me if her 18-year-old son will get it and if her grandmother will get it. And that house is not only her 18-year-old son and her grandmother, but it is she and her husband. So that is 4 people that will get $300. What's 4 by 300? Is that something to scoff at? And this
is 4 by 300 something to scoff at? Well, 4 3s are 12. So you tell me that household will receive $1,200 a one-time runoff. And that is to do what exactly, Miss Moore? Let me think carefully. So you're going to give out fish instead of teaching people in Barbados how to fish. Speaking of fish in Barbados, we're about to launch soon, hopefully another matter of, well, by the end of this month, a fishing program, an initiative being launched here in Barbados by the BNC, Barbados National Congress, a boat building program teaching youth in Barbados how to build boats and also learn the arts of fishing. So if you're interested in that, more stuff is going to come up on that shortly. You'll see the link. Tell a friend, and let's get this thing in the going. But rather than teach fishing, y'all telling me you're going to give out some fish around election time. So you're going to give out some money around election time. In fact, a week before election, y'all going to start giving out money. And he's going to start with certain areas first. I would not be surprised, right, family? In fact, hold on. Let me let them tell it. Hold on.
This government that has committed to telling you, share the burden, share the bounty, made that gesture, and they will want to poop pie.
Share the bounty, share the burden.
They will tell you that the hotelier is still cutting corners, although we have the Labor Concessions Act. And I want you to remember that every journey starts with a first step. And we have the laws in place, and as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow, and as sure as on the 21st of May, Chad will be elected as a member of Parliament for St. James North, that hotel agreement, the agreement that targets mainly the tourism sector, will be enforced in Barbados, but you have to get the law implemented first.
As sure as the sun will come up tomorrow, which was today, as sure as Chad will be elected on May the 21st. Like how she was sure she was going to be elected. Why? It's a pedigree thing. But let me let it play. Where we at? I supposed to go here. Let me go here. Where am I going? Yeah, let me skip and go forward.
It's because there are 30 constituencies for 10 years in Ghetto Road. You expect that everybody in all 30 can be happy in the same way all the time. But remember the journey. Every journey starts with a first step. And I know that even as I am speaking to you, the people of St. James North, and I am saying to you to continue to be patient and measure us not by our words, but measure us by our actions, that equally I'm speaking to the people in St. George North who are awaiting their roads still, and I'm speaking to the people in St. Peter who are still awaiting their roads, and I'm speaking to the people in St. Thomas who are still awaiting their roads, and we are not making vain promises because drive around Barbados. Your turn will come. So as I speak and endorse Chad tonight, As I say to you, the people of St. James North, I don't tell you that you don't have a choice. That's why here the person that running for the other party saying, there's no choice, but there is a choice. And the choice that you have is not to vote for a representative on the basis of what they tell you they are going to do. I want you to judge Chad as a representative that is being presented to you on behalf of the Barbados Labour Party, a party that took over in 2018 when this country was at its brink. And when, as it relates to labor, there was a distance to be covered. When, as it related to roads, there was a distance to be covered. When, as it related to the overall economy, there was a distance to be covered that some believe was impossible in the time that it took. And I want you to see Chad Blackman as a member of that team that the Prime Minister of Barbados, as party leader, sought after to bring back. Not only to send out as an ambassador, but to bring back to lift heavyweight in the same way that in 2020, she approached the Barbados Workers Union to come and lift heavyweight. And you are seeing the difference. While they talk, we continue to work. While they jeer, we keep our focus. And that is why, St. James North, I am saying to you that on the 21st of May, you have a choice. You have a choice to continue to fight for the soul of this country.
All right. So she said we have a choice. Well, let me tell you what the choice is that was said. Let me give you just 2 seconds to this one here. Just this particular one. Please forgive me, family.
That it was easy for mommy and daddy to do things for us.
Hold
we
on.
felt that if we asked them for things, they should be able to do it. Just go and get money and do it. How hard could that be? But as children, we never understood what were the dynamics around living, what it took for our parents to make sure that there was bread and butter in the house.
Now, what I wanted to do was count the amount of times this young lady here said bread and butter. And I'll tell you why. Because the more she repeated the words bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, all that came to mind was, well, you guessed it, bread and butter. Who's eat bread and butter?
As adults, we know it is not as simple as that. And every day in this country, there are issues confronting people that create a lot of pressure for them as they seek to wonder, how am I going to solve it? And so often you can feel alone when you are struggling to deal with your bread and butter issues. But
bread and butter issues.
But I'm here tonight to tell you that you have in the Barbados Labour Party a government who not only understands your bread and butter issues, but knows what to do about them. And that is what we've been doing from the time we have come into office, and we will continue to work to do so. So tonight I want to share with you some things that we need to understand about our bread and butter issues.
Listen, look, I'm not even going to play no more of this because, like I said, the link is in the comments, family. Please go take a look at it. The amount of time she said bread and butter, I would think I was being put in a trance because bread and butter, white folks call bread and butter toast. They have toast. They have their toast with their marmalade and they whatever. But see, when it kind of bread and butter, every poor man knows bread and butter. So when she's speaking, understand who she's speaking to. But as she continues to speak, that term keep coming up. Y'all heard already, right? Everything is bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. I'm saying this is a psychological program they run on the people of Barbados here. The aim is to keep you dumbed down and delusional while they get fat and enjoy the wealth and the spoils and make their friends and families. In fact, hold on, I gotta call it right. Somebody here on the line with us. Come on. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, Empress. Welcome. I don't know if you're still there. Or mute your mic. Thanks for joining us. If you're there, your mic is muted. Caller, you're live. All right. It looks like we're having some. You're there? Caller, you're there? Oh, I see what happened.
Yeah,
Good night. Greetings. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. If we're not correct, please feel free to correct us. Welcome.
Correct. I'm sorry. Good night. I went to press something and they press the wrong thing. So yes, I
That's
hear.
all.
You know, it's come. I drop it straight. I just get off the people live real quick.
Drop it.
No, I got about 2 or 3 things I want to talk about. Number one, the $300. I don't trust that. I don't care how much everything not free don't be good. My mother and my father always used to tell me so. Everything not free don't always be good. So when you see them things getting out, you step back and you look and observe how this come, how the body come by it, and what you gonna got to do in the end when you take this thing. You understand what I'm saying to you? So a lot of the Bajans back open the eyes and everybody watching, oh, $300, $300, but think about it. We got the hospital here want work. We got schools here need every minute they're shutting some problem or the other. Um, all different kind of bundle of nonsense that we got need important things that need fixing. Sorry, money that should be going to important things. No, we taking and get everybody $300. Where does $300 come from? How you got $300 to get everybody that over 18 and this and the 30 next? Where this money come from? That's number one. Number two, why is it that you call these business places, especially a place like the Ministry of Education, and you can never get through to anybody, but let you child be on the road after a certain time and somebody could call the bus and they can get them pick up real fast. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these workplaces, you call them, you can't get through to nobody, can't hear
Fact.
nobody, you want to know if the people working or if nobody don't be there to answer the phone or if them just say no looking at the phone because that don't make no sense to me. Um, Something
Same.
else that odd. The other issue now too, the children in Barbados are missing every minute. I don't
Mhm.
know where these young children going. We really need to reach out to the youth and ask them what's going on because children ain't gonna just run away from home unless it's a problem, or some might be just on away and want to do the thing, yes. But for the Belgian public to hear this child gone missing, this child gone missing, and then when the child show up now, or the child has been found, nothing else. I mean, not that we want to know what part of was or anything, but we need to know where these children going missing so all the time. That's just my opinion because as you said, as you were speaking about earlier, the other young lady, Adriana Young, that got her life taken.
Mhm.
You know, when you child missing, it's be a serious thing, and
Serious.
everybody just gather around and everybody be concerned. So I feel the same concern that we have to know what's going on with the youth and why the youth running away and stuff. When the return, we gonna know, at least give it like some kind of update that was found so and so, and we working to see what's the problem, whatever. We just hear that the child was found. You know what I mean? So that's about all I have to say right now. I don't think I have nothing else to say. I like to hear the program and I tune in as soon as I see it. Click on my phone because it's be a very educational program. I think that everybody should watch it and learn at least something, come away from it and learn and do your research and find out what really going on about here because everybody is wide shut.
Serious. Well, I
You
want to thank you.
understand? So,
I want
they
to thank
right.
you. I want to before you go. I want to thank you for sharing also, and I want to add to what you said about the missing people, young children here. I put up an image a couple of days ago of a young lady who I think she's 14, who's also been identified as not not home, missing. I have not got an update. I don't know if there was an update. If anybody know about that update, please share with us. Pass it on so we could kind of keep an eye on that. But another thing you said too, in terms of where the money coming from, all of a sudden, that's why ants, can politicians buy votes? I'm gonna play a video next, right after this one, that speaks to that, and I want to show you how what you said is important because the reality is a lot of things happening in Barbados. A lot of places you call government offices and can't get through. I was calling one this week. I won't say the place. I was calling from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was only yesterday, Thursday, that I finally got through. I must have called. I mean, I called almost every possible extension, every single one. I called for hours,
I
and
understand what you're talking about.
so maybe they were busy doing the work. Maybe they were
Oh
busy doing the
yeah,
work.
and one more thing before I forget. We're talking about bread and butter. Let me talk about this one here real quick because it's come
You notice,
straight.
you notice, right? Wait, hold on. You notice, right, that
hmm
this video is muted, and with no sound. If you look at it, you'll think that she was arguing or crawling with somebody, right? Not speaking to people trying to share. It looked like an
But,
argument.
but
But
the
go ahead.
thing is that there's more talk to the children about the behavior, and then there's going to parliament and get on like children too. So that's my thing. That's my take on that. Them just getting to parliament and talk about this side and the next side before them talk about the real issues.
Serious. Yes. Tell us your
Right.
last point.
My last point, talking about bread and butter now, people talking all this and that, we going through hard times, but let me tell you something. I used to work for the people that is cater for the politicians, and they get to stay there long because my son broke his hand, and they know from there hearing me, they gonna know that I telling the truth. My son broke his hand, he saved, they started the job, and the person that was working for, well, you know, they relieve me off of the job because really and truly my son had broken and studying about your job no more. So and if the couple hours that I was there, no, you catering for people that over us, we suffering, we eating tuna, mixed meat, you piece of chicken if we could get, piece of fish if we could get, but people getting big bojo and big top catered meals though. We be struggling every day with $10 or something. I don't know because the put on the 2 hours, well, not we, because not me. But anyhow, the people struggling, and I ain't gonna tell you I'm struggling too because they're struggling, but just not with the people saying something over. And these politicians, them paychecks big and everybody's got to pay when it's time. So right now I don't see why teachers should be asking for this and teachers should be asking for that, because really and truly the teachers are the ones to me who build the youth for the future, and they're the ones who are the future. So if the teachers are part of building these children for the success, I think that they deserve the respect, though, that they think they deserve the respect or some level of respect, that people would say, well, you know what, these teachers need a break. Because when you sending your child, and sometimes you got wayward children, you got hard-eared children, you got some of all kind of children. Teachers dealing with 100 and how much ever different personalities when they come and more. Let me see a school going 300-400 children. You dealing with all of these. Why you want to think that the teacher should get a break and you all as parents should get a break? Those are your all children, look. If you understand what I mean.
Serious.
So the same way that you expect the teachers to be at school with them all the time, you should be ready to be with your children. And I know that you go to work and stuff, but teachers got them children and them go to work too. So what these people telling us out? Not saying that all teachers good, because I met some that really need some professional training. But I'm talking about all, but the majority of the teachers do a very good job. And I think that they need what they're asking for, along with a lot of the other workers that ain't getting paid properly, working in poor conditions, and then to hear that money spending all over the place on a lot of frivolous things and people suffering, it don't make no sense. So that's my take on that. Come for me if the feeder come for me, because I really don't be bothered, and have a good night. Politically incorrect. That's it.
Yes. Give thanks for calling in.
Yes, brethren.
Yes, family. Give thanks. Yes, Empress Kems, as always, and bring the fire. She brings the fire to the barbecue. Make sure everything gets roasted well, right, cooked right through. But it's obvious, man. It is, yes, Pedro. It is blatantly clear. Even a visual impaired could see with their ears. I like that. Could see with their ears. It's a fact, man. It's a fact. It's a fact. And this is why, though, we got to have each other and recognize that if we don't help each other along this journey, a lot of us gonna fall, especially in these times, man. It's a lot of I don't want to call it scam. I don't want to call it a scam, but all is not what it appears to be. All is not what it appears to be. I gotta share this one here real quick. Let me go and share this video here next. This is where we get interested now, because let me just put this on the screen. Hang on a second. There you go. So we talk about this $300 and the bribes, you know, and I prefer the new ID card. Oh, and they prefer the new ID card. And not so much that they prefer the new ID card, Monica. You got to understand, right? That Barbados as a corporation needs stock. And don't forget, the old contract in Barbados is expired. So they got to renew it. So how they renew it? We create a republic and get the citizens now that were part of the old to join the new. Because you got to do it by consent. They can't force you into doing it. You got to agree. You got to acquiesce to this. And the way you do it is to give up your sovereign identity and claim a corporate and become a corpse, a corporation. The ID card is what ties you to that. Hence, you name it all caps and that kind of stuff, which is a whole other conversation. But that's how they got to do it. They don't have so much. They don't have enough folks that sign on to that. So they need physical beings. That's why they're going after the young people. So they're offering money. Woo, young. So a lot of young people left school, ain't doing nothing but the place, students and whatnot. Tell us so that little bit of money would go a long way. Well, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? $300, right? These people really think me stupid. Yeah, they really do. Let me prove it to you. Listen to this carefully.
We're asking those persons to come forward 18 years and older, and you have to be, and just to be clear, 18 before April 1st of this year. Okay? 18 before April 1st of this year. To come to the various places that we will have open, including here at the National Insurance, to be able to come and bring some specific information that allows us either to register you for National Insurance, to access the benefit.
Listen, look here, family. Again, take this section of the program, record this section, and send to your friends. You got to listen and understand how they plan to rope you into this whole thing and why they're doing it. Because the devil got to tell you what the plan is. You got to allow him access. You can't just, you got to, so listen to what they're looking to do and why they're looking to do it. Listen carefully, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Like, listen to this. I'm going to pull it from the top. Please, family, I'm telling y'all, listen carefully to the plan.
We're asking those persons to come forward 18 years and older, and you have to be, and just to be clear, 18 before.
18 and older. Why? Because at 18, you're supposed to be in a what? See, you can't rope the minors in, because a minor is a minor. You got to rope the adults in to give up their status of being an adult, a living being, to go back into the fictional world on paper. Because the courts cannot deal with human physical beings. They can only deal with paper. So they need you to deliberately sign yourself over. Sign yourself over.
To come for
National Insurance, right? Remember this.
18 years and older, and you have to be, and just to be clear, 18 before April 1st of this year. Okay? 18 before April 1st of this year.
But
to come to the various places that we will have open, including here at the National Insurance, to be able to come and bring some specific information that allows us either to register you for National Insurance, to access the benefit, or at any of the other post offices that are designated. Now, I say specifically there are persons who are caregivers in this country, who the family may get together and they may support the brother or sister who's looking after the mother or father. So they may not have made a NIS contribution for some time. This benefit is also, this allowance, sorry, is also for you. As I said earlier, there are persons who are not in receipt of any pension at all, and therefore this particular solidarity allowance is also for you.
Solidarity allowance. My question is this a one-time payment, or are you going to get this every week, every 2 weeks, every month? Is this a one-time payment, or this is going to be a residual income going forward?
Persons who are unemployed, have never really worked and never really contributed, all that is required for you to do is to present yourself with your national ID. And I'm being very specific here. Your national ID card, preferably the Trident card, because if you have your Trident card, it means that you've provided information certainly to the Electoral Boundaries Commission.
Preferably your...
And never really contributed. All that is required for you to do is to present yourself with your national ID. And I'm being very specific here. Your national ID card, preferably the Trident card, because if you have your Trident card, it means that you've provided information certainly to the...
Preferably your Trident ID.
Electoral Boundaries Commission. If you have a bank account, it makes it easier on us to pay you if you have a bank account. All we require you to do is to bring that information. If you have the top of the bank statement, that is preferable because we know that is the correct information, and therefore it will help to minimize any data entry in relate or confusion around that. You need to know your current address, of course, in order to register. And if you have a TAMIS number, then that would be preferable as well, such that we know how to reach you. Now, of course, contact information, telephone number, and the like in relation to being able to get this done. But we have a schedule which, with respect to post offices, and that will be open, where some of the NAS officers will go in order to meet people who want to register, because we want to make it as easy as possible.
Now, imagine this. Okay, let me finish first. Hold on.
For people to become registered. If you happen to be in town, obviously you can come to here to the NAS, but if you can't make it to town, then it means that we're utilizing the post offices as that point whereby persons can go to be able to facilitate. So I'm just want to announce just very quickly, and I think in the social media and supportive thing will come after in relation to it. So May 7th to 9th, the post offices in St. George, St. John, St. Thomas, St. Joseph, the General Post Office. May 12th to 16th, St. James, St. Peter, St. Philip, Worthing, again, and the General.
St. Peter, St. James. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all catch it? Did y'all catch it? Did you catch it? I'm gonna go back again. Hang on a second. Ironically, for some reason, let me tell you. Hold on. They literally got to tell you the truth.
Joseph, the General Post Office, May 12th to 16th.
May 12th to May 16th. Listen carefully. May 12th to May 16th.
St. James, St. Peter, St. Philip, Worthing, again. And
St. James and St. Peter. That's the only 2 points I want to focus on.
General Post Office. May 20th to 23rd, St. Andrew, St. Joseph, St. Philip, St. John, and the General Post Office. May 26th to 30th, Warrens, Worthing, St. James, St. Peter, Britain, and the General Post Office.
So the point I want to make here is that we have an election coming up in the same St. James, St. Peter area, St. James North to be exact. You think when they canvassing, right, when they go knocking on doors, you don't think that this is a selling point? Listen, look, did y'all register yet for that $300? Let me see, is 1, 2, 3, 4 one in here, over 18? At $1,200 here. Go and register and get that free money. Money. Go get that money. Go get the bag. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that's a selling point? It's funny because they're about to start payment on that, according to them, on the 14th of May. They're going to start to pay out this money to folks who are registered. And guess what? In St. James and St. Peter, prior to the 21st election. I'm just saying. But in any event, you can get there before. Don't worry. You can come a little afterwards. We can still get it to you. Just make sure you go and put the X on the dot. You can't make this up, family.
The General Post Office, 8:30 to 5 p.m. officers will be available there. And here at the National Insurance, there will be a registration center on the ground floor. And those opening times will be 9:30 to 6 p.m. So there's an extended window, if you like. Now, in all of this, we said that persons, so once we give these specific dates here, we will review based on the numbers. We will continue because we've already announced that persons will have until the end of June anyhow to be able to register. So this is not the totality of it. What we're saying is that we want people to be able to come forward at these particular points to be able to register, to allow us to be able to track the numbers, and we'll determine, obviously, going into June, what needs to happen, and that communication certainly will come from the team in relation to that. So we are making every effort to have persons who are not working, persons who, for whatever reason, to be able to, are in receipt of any NAS pension or benefit, to be registered, to be able to access the $300.
Okay, government finalized plans to start 300 solidarity allowance payments on May 14th. That is a YouTube link from the Barbados Today page. Go check it out. I'm going to post that link as well if you want to listen to this again. But they're scheduled to start it on May 14th, according to the write-up on this particular video, family. You cannot make this up. It's Sister Ants, where they get that money from. Well, let me assume that how much people in Barbados? Let's do the numbers. Let me see. All right, let's do an easy number, mathematics. 300,000 people. Okay, let's say there are 300,000 people and it's $300, but not everybody in Barbados is over the age of 18 or will qualify in terms of age. So let's just assume that a third of the island won't register because they just won't. So if there's 2/3 of the island registering, that's what? 2/3, 300,000, and multiply that by 300. What's that about? What? What's that, Sean? What's that? 60 M's? 236, carry the 0, carry the 0, carry the 0 6 times. That's about 60 M's. This is the ants where they get any money from. That's roughly about 60 M's, I think, give or take. 2 3s are 6, and this carry the zeros. These people really think we stupid. Receive money from the government will not make you rich. Greetings to the family up in the UK. Shout out to the family all the way in UK, matriarch. Shout out to my sister from another mother. John said 300 is how much percent of her income? She said that is 300, approximately. No, Pedro said that the government should be getting minimum wage. Ministers should be getting minimum wage, you know, at 10.50. See how they like it. That would have been increased a long time ago. Pedro, you would put all into Bitcoins. I ain't even touching it. Y'all is too much. Y'all, how y'all know so good? Y'all right to laugh, man. These jokers make esteem an honorable owner to look like a boss. I tell you, man, it's crazy. Very condescending. Yeah, that's that bread and butter, right? Greetings to the family too. Tim, how you doing, man? You still in BIM or you going back north, Tim? How you in the family? How things you in the family? The bread gone stale and the butter melted. Man, look, it is crazy. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Everything she said was bread and butter. I actually wanted to do a clip where I just put every time she said bread and butter together to count how many times she said bread and butter. But I felt, you know what? I got more important things to do in my time than that one, Bo. Yes. Greetings to you too, man. Yes, greetings to you too, Maria. I saw you creeping in there, and it's like was reported in paper for 14 years old. Okay, was reported in paper. The 14-year-old was found. The 13-year-old still missing. Man, look, man. All right, give thanks for that one, Tim. Talk about buying votes, right? Of course. You don't think big chat black money is a selling point? Listen, family, make sure you sign up for this thing. You know, you care for the youths, this kind of stuff. I wonder why they pulled him out of the UN, overseas, where he was working or something. Because I know there was a few ministers who got pulled from overseas, being caught up in some all kind of stuff going on. But I don't know who was who and who was what. The old ID has no expiration date. Well, I agree with you, Sean, but you know, these government workers gonna do what they told because they gonna follow who providing their bread and butter. You understand me? They're gonna do what they're told because they don't want to lose our bread and butter. Will be persona non grata in our land. Sorry, in our island. Yeah, Pedro, you use that word, persona non grata. That phrase, I'm telling you, man, interesting times we're living in. Interesting times, man. Was watching US News the other day, and they had a deadline for persons to get real IDs. Once you realize what time it is, family, this is why we cannot. That money is too easy. I don't trust or like easy. I don't trust or like easy money. I'm talking about Biden votes soon after Adriana Young went missing. The Minister of Miseducation announced a Because We Care cash grant of US $275 to buy school uniforms in May. Yeah, I didn't realize Guyana doing the same thing Barbados talking about. I realize that they're offering cash to parents and stuff to buy quote unquote school uniforms because we care. Family, we're being roped into something here, but you got to give the information. They need the information on you. They need it. There was something else that was said first night when the polls, where was it? Let me look for that video real quick because in fact, let me go because I see time getting away. I don't want to be on here for 3 hours tonight. That is not the plan. But you see, he came and told you what it is, man. Registered. We need to get you registered. But speaking of Tony Moore, and this party does what it says, I want to play a video right here real quick. I think this is the appropriate time to say this so we could then segue into the next one. And I'll tell you why this is the time for this one right here. You cannot, again, family, make this stuff up. So this is at the allow me to introduce this real quick. This is the 79th annual conference. All aboard, all aboard. Honorable Mayor Motley, QC, MP. Integrity legislation. This meant she was a QC, so this is a few years back. I want you all to pay attention to this. This is so important. You cannot make this stuff up. Give thanks to the inbox crew, man. Yes, because we care. Daffodil said, look at Hido. Wow. Yeah, he talked, man, like you can't make this up, man. You can't make it up. These are the children of those who did the enslaving, family. It is obvious. It's obvious. They don't speak to you like they with you. They're not even a part of you, man. It's a one-time payment. Now listen, a one-time payment. They giving you a one-time payment. What is that supposed to do, family? Nothing is for free. Nothing is free. You're exchanging information for $300. Vital information. You're literally selling your soul, because after that, you're going to be entered into the digital world where they're going to enslave you digitally. You don't believe me? Go get that $300, man. I wish, look, this should be on CBC right now. We should just buy a spot on CBC and play this politically incorrect. Because if Barbados really knew what was about to happen, I'm telling you, and the only sad part is, man, family, I come on here and I do my part, right? I do my part. Don't mind the other political programs. I ain't gonna call a spade because they could do that. Because it's political, it's obvious. I mean, if you didn't know before, it's obvious now, right? Not that we did not know, but let me play this one. Because they say I'm political, right? Let me show how political I am right now. Let me show how much red shirts I want right now. I can put this on blast, man. Hold on. Check this out, man. Plain and simple. Ms. Motley.
We will bring to Parliament, among our first pieces of legislation, integrity legislation and election campaign financing legislation. These will be separate bills, but I tell you tonight that we will establish an integrity commission, and that integrity commission must have constitutional protection, just as the Electoral and Boundaries Commission has constitutional protection in this country. But I went further, and I want to thank the lawyers in the Barbados Labour Party and the lawyers of independent conscience in this country.
The lawyers of independent conscience in this country. Mr. Thorne, are you listening? Because I'm sure at the time you was part of this particular bandwagon.
Who for the last 4 weeks have spent their time drafting a new integrity commission bill for Barbados.
Drafting a new bill for Barbados.
This bill will be put on the website and the Facebook page next week. I wanted to put it tonight, but so careful are they that they have asked me for 3 or 4 more days. And when it goes up, we want the people of Barbados to write us on an email called acleanbarbados@blp.org.bb.
Anybody heard that email address? Right, hold on. Somebody, write this down, family. Please write this down.
And an email called acleanbarbados@blp.org.bb.
acleanbarbados@blp.org.bb. Write this. I'm gonna play it again, family. Please write this down. Was this ever posted on the Facebook page? Was this ever made public? This particular legislation, the integrity legislation, was it made public?
And an email called acleanbarbados@blp.org.bb and share your opinions, because you will soon understand when I say that this will be among the first pieces of legislation of a Barbados Labour Party government. We mean it and we shall do it.
Okay, so we mean it and we shall do it. Tony Moore said, don't judge us what we say, judge us based on what we do. Question, was this done? Was this piece of legislation, this integrity legislation that was so eloquently written, apparently, by the conscious lawyers, yada, yada, whatever, that had that wanted to go back over it again before we publish it to make sure it was just as accurate as it can possibly be. Somebody stop me. Come on, please. Help me here, man. Was it done? There's some of these red shirts, though, right? That just...
The good fortune that a former member of this party and a former Chief Justice of Barbados, Sir David Simmons, chairs the Integrity Commission in the Turks and Caicos Islands and has already agreed to offer his experience both to those who were drafting this legislation, for free, by the way, for those who were drafting this legislation, and for those who will be required to help give life and body to the terms of the legislation. We look forward to the comments of the people of Barbados on this most critical piece of legislation and this new step into a new governance.
And this new step into a new governance. Listen, one of the first pieces of legislation, we will be doing it. Was it done, people? Can somebody help me here? Some people don't have a bank account. That's all right. You can go and get one now. If you can't get one, don't worry. We can get the money to you shortly. Just hold on a minute. You just hold on a minute. They estimate 55 million with top-ups if needed. So my estimate was 60 million, and they estimated 55 million. So, you know, it was 60. Like, who does 55 million? The 5 million, you know, that's administrative fees, Pedro. Come on. I mean, to get 55 million out of a, you know what? I'm not even going to touch that. Administrative fees, Pedro. Administrative fees, man. Bottom line. But wait, family, I got warmer to give you tonight. I got warmer for you tonight. One major one, a major one. You count too many people, approximately 170,000, excluding the under 18s. No, Pedro. Well, I rounded it up because I don't think they actually rounded it down. The politicians don't round down a thing. So I round it up in light of how they think. But I follow you, Pedro. I give thanks. My calculation say roughly $90 million to 300,000 people, because I don't know which part of the population is over 18. I follow you, Sean, but you know what? You might be more accurate than Pedro or I, because they do round up. You might be more accurate. While the government officials eating shrimp and lobster. Oh, stop playing. We eating bread and butter. You know what? Yo, bread and butter, boy. That one, I telling you, Empress, that one she kept saying it. That was rubbing me the wrong. Like, nah, boy, they making fun of you in your face. I know she's the Minister of Education. Man, look, remember that horror movie Dracula and his friends can't enter until you invite them in time to keep the door. It's time to keep the door closed. I love it, Pam. I love it. I love it. I love it. Family, it's time to keep the door closed. I agree with you, Emmanuel. We better wake up. I tell you, be up politically incorrect. We up, family. It's your duty to go tell a friend to tell a friend. That was it from day one. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Because we know what time it is. We here know what time it is, and we work in the suit. Not all things are known, but we work in the suit. It's a man showing cleavage. Wow. I don't know. Mom showing cleavage. You mean, yeah, you know what, mom showing cleavage. Pedro, let me go and see what you're talking about. I don't know if you talk about Motley showing cleavage. I don't even know how you noticed Miss Motley showing cleavage. You didn't got me here beat. Pedro, you got me beat bad. You got me here looking for it, man. I don't even know what you're talking about. Your eyes good enough, Pedro. Miss Motley, I'm telling you, folks say you're showing cleavage. I don't know how you managed to see that. Pedro, you're easy at all, man. Vampires, yo, man. Instead of no hypnosis, bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. You are now going to love bread and butter. Focus on getting your bread and butter. Do. Get your bread and butter, right? Focus on bread and butter. Don't worry, it's only $2, but that is bread and butter. More bread and more butter. If you have over 2/3 majority and complain about passing laws, the people are chumps. That is crazy. Crazy. Shout to Roderick Jones, man. Greetings, family. Long time. It was done in 20s. Never, ever, never seen anywhere. Well, we've done it, I guess you meant, I don't know, you meant 2020. I ain't sure you mean here, Roger. What year are you referring to? Give me an update on that one there, man. Sean knows. I see the WhatsApp messages. I can't touch it right now. I got one more video. I think it's a video to play. Let me go and get to that real quick. Let me go and get this at this point. Let me pull this one up, family. Let me pull this one up. About to put a rabbit out of a hat. This is the thing that got me right here. This is the thing that got me right here. Let me go ahead and share this one. This is where it gets really interesting, right? I don't know. Just as a reminder, again, shout out to the inbox crew. Shout out to the inbox crew. I think this is it right here. Yeah. Shout out to the inbox crew, family. Y'all may remember this. I don't know if y'all remember this, but let me get y'all the link to this for those who might not remember this. This is going back to 2017. Hang on. Pardon me. Sean, it's a long link. I hope it goes up. Hope it goes up. Nope, it didn't go up. All right. Let me see if I can fix this. Let me see if I can fix it. Hang on. I'm gonna take that. Okay, so it's up on Facebook, sure. Loop News, but let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do here. I'll try to save it as a short link and see what I can get this to the people. Okay, I'll figure it out. But y'all remember back in 2017, BLP calls for AG to go give him a failing grade. Y'all remember that? This current Attorney General, former Attorney General and Barbados Labour Party Shadow Minister for Home Affairs, MP Dale Marshall, wants the Attorney General Adriel Bradford removed from the post, stating that, now listen to this carefully, stating that the current Attorney General dropped the ball when he put the Barbados Defense Force on standby instead of activating and mobilizing the units to help eliminate the wave of violent crimes being recorded daily. Marshall said his time is up. I think the time has come when Prime Minister needs to relieve the Attorney General of the portfolio that he gave him to maintain peace and stability of our country. He's failed woefully. Now, let me ask you a question, family. In a simple poll here on Politically Incorrect tonight, simply by typing, well, in this case, he said he fails. Yeah, failing, give him a failing grade. Simply by typing F for failing, do you think the Attorney General of Barbados at this point have failed the people of Barbados when it comes to crime and violence, or he has passed in terms of a grade? What grade would you give the Attorney General of Barbados right now at this point for the job he has done since 2018 until now, 2025, the last 7 years? What grade would you be giving the Attorney General? Somebody please help me. Oh, I got you. It would never ever done in 20 never years. I got you. I see you. I see you. I see you. In 20 never seen anywhere. I got you. I got you. It would never done in 20 never ever. I got you. It was never done, huh? That was supposed to be the first. That was supposed to be one of the first things they said they're going to do. First, the very first. Let me make no mistake about it. Let me post that link too, so you don't say that Emmanuel making up these videos. These are videos that I find on their own website. Their very, very, very own website. So let me be clear on that. What grade? Come on, family. If you're watching right now, type what grade you giving the Attorney General of Barbados for the work he has done in Barbados at this point. What are the grades? Let's take a look at some of these grades the AG is receiving tonight. I just say it depends. Okay, well, depends on what? Somebody saying he gets F, 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 F. He don't even get one F. He gets 5 Fs. Somebody else gives him 3 different Fs. Pedro say he's gotten an A. Now, I would expect that from Pedro, but please qualify that. Please qualify that. Pedro has given the Attorney General an A, and I'm sure he's given him an A at being a failure. But I'll let Pedro tell you. Somebody else gives him a Q. He don't even get an F. He get a Q. Is that Q for question? Like they want to question him? Somebody else gives him a negative Z. Yo, a negative Z. I can tell you who not gonna win this seat again. He about to retire though. He going to be the next one to retire. Just now. Just now, man. Captain, the ship is sinking. The man is a joke. They're not serious about fighting crime, so he getting a F. He's getting an F, huh? The truth is, right, Sharon, and I'll be truthful and say this. Not that he's not serious about fighting crime, but truly speaking, crime is a business. And we don't understand the business of crime. If we think about it, all them guns in Barbados, somebody is selling them. They're not being given away for free. At the level, maybe at the bottom, perhaps, but somebody buying them, money. The police working, money. Investigators working, money. The funeral homes working, money. The lawyers working, money. Judges working, money. Courts, money. Prison, money. Prison bus, money. Food, money. Uniform, money. Clothes, money. Light and power, money. Water bill at Dodds, money. Police resources and investigative tactics and equipment, blah, 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 blah. Money. Money, money, money. Everybody makes money. The bills born, money. Everybody makes money off of the criminal, except the criminal. But criminals don't seem to get that. Or a Z. He has another Z coming in. Heard him mention the organs already, and he's smiling. Hold on. Heard him mention of organs already, and he's smiling. I don't know, Pedro. I don't know, Pedro. Sharon say you're right. It's a business, Sharon. That's what I'm saying. So they're not really interested in fighting crime. That was never the mandate. That's the mandate in our minds. That is not the mandate in theirs at all. Anyhow, I gonna peel up out of here in a minute. I had another video to share, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think No, I think that's it for the night, family. I think so. There's a lot of stuff, but I think I covered most of it. I hope I covered most of it. I'm going to kind of go into it real quick and see. One thing I saw, in fact, well, basically the results are in, Mr. Dale Marshall. You are going to be expelled. You know, you talk about expelling children from school, right? But you're going to have to get expelled from the ministry for failing. You know, when children go to school and don't perform after a certain age, you just kick them out. Well, when ministers go into parliament and don't perform, they should also be automatically kicked out. Simple as that. Anyhow, family, that brings us to the conclusion of Politically Incorrect for tonight. I definitely want to thank you all for, sharing your thoughts, energies, and actions. I want to share one more thing before we go tonight. Let's got to cue it up really properly, make sure it's correct. And I want to share this video, and I want to send a message, man. I want to send a message. I don't normally do this, but I want to send a message to Vibes Cartel. Not that he would probably ever get this, but tell a friend to tell a friend. Who knows, man? Because to my knowledge, he's supposed to perform in Guyana soon. And again, I think we got to start paying attention to. Let me just share this. Let me add this to the screen. I think that at this point in our reality, family, let me see if we get this up on the screen. Hang on. Here you go. you know, Guyana right now going through a lot, and a lot of people and celebrities are saying stuff. I don't know if he's said something already. Maybe he did say something already. Maybe he has a video out. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But let me just say this, right? That I think right now that Vibes Cartel, seeing so he was just there with the government of Guyana, including the president or whatever the guy name is, prime minister, whoever he is, Ali. That a message should be sent though, because we can't. I mean, we know that attention is what's going to make this not go away, and attention is what's going to make it get some degree of resolution. Guyana ain't so skilled that they could cover this one up, because it's already clear that they've been making an attempt from the beginning. Unfortunately, they were so sloppy with doing it that they literally blundered the whole thing. So the more attention, the better, man. And Vibes Cartel, if you ever get this message right now, you got to address this matter. And as far as you about making money and performing, I suppose that's a good thing. But right now, Guyana don't need that. It needs support on this matter from the people that have the influence. Seeing so you have influence with these ministers and these prime ministers, you need to say something about this matter. You need to say something. You need to address this. Shout to Mavado and everybody else who said something, because in reality, the more attention, the better. All across the Caribbean, a lot of families have had to deal with losses of children, and families in some older areas as well, but definitely the children. But enough is enough is enough, man. Straight. I mean, to sit back and watch this happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and we function like it's business as usual, man. Silence is consent here. That's all I'm saying. So, Vibes Cartel, wherever you're there, you got to address this. You got to address this. You got to say something about this, man, and hold Guyana government accountable. Astound the people of Guyana on this one. Straight up. Straight up. You like writing, right, teacher? Write a song about it, man. Make it go viral. Make the world know what Guyana do. It's time to hold these governments accountable for the foolishness they've been doing for a while. We know the facts. They practice the crafts. They practice all kind of stuff. We know. Enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Straight up. So make it happen, man. You say the world boss, don't say it, prove it. Straight. And your family. On that note, big shout to the family again. Straight up, man. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. Somebody said he gets no grade. Oh, man. Beverly me no high grade or no grade period, like, cause none of the two, right? None of the two. Hold on. His boss loved the job he's doing. His boss loved the job he doing. I agree. I agree. Guy Smiley will be getting his pension regardless. You know what, Sean? We always assume that, right? But the universe is not without a sense of humor. And I say universe because I don't want folks to think, but the Almighty ain't sleeping. The Most High is not sleeping. Divine order run things, man. Night to you and the family as well. Give thanks again to everyone for tuning in. Manners and respect all day, every day. The corrupt government bringing vibes to calm the people in Guyana. Vibes Cartel ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. Guyanese and them kind of people. He know that. In fact, to my knowledge, Vibes Cartel ain't stupid. I remember Guyana, Vibes Cartel from before. And what happened? For those who don't know, well, we leave that out. But Vibes know what happened. Guyana the place to play with. Guyana bye, oh gosh bye. Demerara forever. Shout out to Demerara, by the way. East Bank. Straight up, man. I love it. All my family down there, y'all know who y'all be, man. Straight up, man. Kadaki, Rhonda, y'all already know, man. They bring him in and pay him with taxpayers' money. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? I hope you see that one day. You better do something about it. Don't go about there playing with Guyana. Show the real world bosses, man. She's going to shine brighter and hotter than any sun till the truth be told. to set her soul free. Evil can't hide. Facts. Facts. Big salute on that one, Pam. Big salute for sure, for sure. They paid the Afrobeats guy $1 million US. Okay. So you know they pay him $1 million US, what they gotta get cartel. We Are the World feature Ray Charles and others. Vibes had to jump on the first flight out of Guyana. Yeah, you remember that one? First thing smoking. You remember that one, huh? Don't play about here, boy. Listen, family. Enough is enough. We said a lot tonight. I think I've covered most of what I have here as notes. I think I covered most of it. Again, one Caribbean family. Shout out to the whole Caribbean islands, all the people, all the families, more strength to families. Families losing their loved ones. Some young men were unalived in the same protests for Adriana. You know, police shot some people. One man was shot in his eye. You know, that kind of stuff happening. Nah, man, we ain't dealing with that no more. Enough is enough. And regarding the two candidates, let me go to this one here real quick and see if I can pull this one off. Okay, let me see if I can get it done. Hang on. Can I get it? I can get it. I can get it. I can get it. I got 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 it. There you go. There it is. There you go. Let me put this one up real quick. So like I said earlier, if anybody knows any of these two candidates here, let me see. Right here. Our brother Alex Mitchell. We know Alex. We're going to get Alex on Politically Incorrect one of these nights. Alex, you got to come in, Alex. And the sister right there, her name is Stephanie Williams. We are asking anyone who know the sister to pass on the politically incorrect digits or forward her information. Let's have a conversation for sure. For sure, for sure. We support Alex Mitchell and the sister right here. They're both running as two additional candidates for St. James North, although you're not seeing them in the media as much. And Barbados today ran a story that spoke about Alex, but did not show his image. And I ain't feeling that. Like that wasn't, I know. Anyhow, maybe that's just my perspective. You know, you're gonna talk with the man, you're gonna show his visibility, family. Stop playing, man. Let's y'all work for BLP. You know what I'm saying? Stop advertising these papers at all political, man. This is crazy, family. Anyhow, y'all keep good, keep strong, hold firm. Y'all already know what time it is. The numbers on the screen, by the way. Manners and respect to you too, family. John said the government hoarding foreign exchange for frivolous things while putting small people behind the law court for foreign exchange. Hold on a second. I'm glad you said that, Sean, because that sparked something. Let me see if I can find it though. I don't know. Well, let me not speak yet. Remember last week I shared a picture. Let me see if I can find it. Because I did have it. Oh yeah. Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it. Let me go to it real quick. Hang on. Let me get to it. Let me get to it real quick. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Before we go, remember I said to you earlier this week, this young lady right here was being sought after by the system. She was wanted for questioning. To my knowledge, she has turned herself in. From what I understand, pardon me, she was being charged with creating a public mischief, attempting to pervert and obstruct the course of justice. Well, it's been brought to my knowledge that she has been formally charged and been remanded to prison on these same charges of citing public mischief, attempting to pervert and obstruct the course of justice. Meanwhile, the gentleman who had on a wet pants with wet sneakers and seen exiting the room that was just clearly recently lit on fire is perhaps still walking around Guyana freely. So they charge this young lady. She's approximately 23 years old, for what I'm understanding. If I'm incorrect, please somebody correct me. And they're charging her now with this offense, which is crazy because, as far as I'm concerned, it is just a distraction, complete distraction, because one of two things. it is either being said to justify the claim that she's lying and that what she said is not true, or, like I said, it is being done to just misdirect the people, to have them focus on something else. But she has been remanded to prison and held. She's being held now without bail. So this is the sort of things that's going on in Guyana right now. If you thought Miss Motley was a dictator, right? I'm telling you all, man, look at Guyana. But then again, my understanding, them is friends. So I don't know what to say about that. But to this young lady and her family, I don't know. Y'all need to keep a close eye on her. So if they say that she hung herself in prison or whatever, family, y'all need to keep an eye on this young lady. Keep an eye on her. I don't know, Rhonda, if you're watching, I didn't hear you come on tonight. Make sure you get a message to this young lady's family, her relatives, whoever, her friends. Keep an eye on her, lest next thing you hear, something happened and she's been silenced. So please, I don't know how it is that somebody secretly record you talking to them privately and post something that you said, but you held accountable. You are held accountable for what you told somebody privately that they recorded and post. So the body who posted and being held or questioned, but you. So like I said, family, I know what Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney thing going on down there in Guyana. But folks, pay attention, man. Pay attention. She got remanded for inciting terrorism. Wow. Inciting terrorism. She's being charged with inciting terrorism. Silent tactics. That's a fact, man. The guy that shared his secret recorded tape on $1,500 US bail. Oh, he was put on bail. And he's on bail, but she's remanded. It's unbelievable. Yeah, she's 23 years old. She's a nursing assistant. She was never in the room, allegedly. Again, I'll tell you this much. We know that the information that came out after the autopsy, we know that a lot of that information that we were told, although we have not seen the formal report, is fraudulent information. So she's right about one thing. A lot of the information is not true. That much we've discovered since then. So maybe half of her story might be true. Maybe not the other half. I don't know. What I do know, however, is that the way this thing going, family, keep an eye on this young lady here. Call and check on her as often as you can. Don't let her tell you about she's stressed and depressed. If she has no history of mental illnesses, don't let them come now and tell what they found her unalive in her cell. You know, that kind of talk. So please, keep an eye, man. Dr. Paul is a fraud. We give GT, the pathologist, to rule drowning. Man, I don't, look, Pedro, you know, like the brethren that said it, he's a fraud. Because a lot of what was said is not true. They're trying to silence this young lady. Again, she might know things. I ain't saying the whole story. Like I said, I don't know. But it is just that kind of situation. I'll call you later. All right. All right. Give thanks, brethren. Looking forward. She never wrote her name. So it'll look like she was there. Man, like I said, we over here, we ain't got all the details. What we do know is that the situation is dangerous because, like I said in the beginning, that young lady's body had not entered a state of rigor mortis. It was clearly visible from the videos that she was still warm. Her body was clearly still warm because it was flexible and very pliable. And therefore, we know that she was alive on the morning of that day, the 24th. So we know that something happened, man. Anyhow. Meanwhile, the new family lawyer confirmed the child was, yep. She was not, she never wrote her name. She is not like she. So it looks like she was not there. I see you, Pedro. I got you. Give thanks, brother. Give thanks. But yeah, anyhow, family, like I said, be out of here, man. Thank you all for staying, sharing your time, energy, synergy in this reality. And to be continued, man, to be continued. This is why I said Frank took the bait. Yeah, quite frankly. But like I said, man, you know, nah, boy, this thing going too far here, family. We gotta focus on something here, man, and make a difference. We gotta make a difference. We can't let it ride out like that. So the question is, are we truly liberated, right? Are we? Let me let this go. I won't put this one. Monday, folks, I will see y'all with some other additional information. I was looking for the updated image of her so you can see that this is an old graduation picture, but I don't want to put the graduation picture up. I want to put up a more recent picture of her, of what she looks like, so that we can actually see what's going on. In fact, let me shout out Nikki on this one too. Shout to Nikki August on this. Let me go ahead and share this page real quick. If y'all haven't seen this, y'all can go and check her page out. She has a lot of information on a lot of things. I don't know how she got the inside scoop like this, but she got an inside scoop. This is the sister right here. So this is the same nurse lady right here, as you can see, you know. So let me just add this to the screen. Frank is the health minister. So this is the sister right here. Compliments of Nikki August page. Shout out to Nikki. A lot of information she be having. You go check her page out on Facebook. I'll post this link here in the comments also. Let me go ahead and put that out there. The link is right there to the bottom. And there's a lot more information. Plus, there's some other videos that you might not have seen as yet. Go check them out. Go check them out. Go check them out, man. Liberation is always a fight, never accomplished. It is it to its fullness. It never accomplished it to its fullness. Well, it's always going to be a fight, Pedro, and we Africans will fight. We find it necessary because we know we shall win, and we are confident in the victory of good over evil. Straight up. I believe the nurse. Like, why would she just make it up out the blue, right? I feel you too, sis. I feel you too. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you on that. I don't think she just said them things for the sake of saying them things, but sorry, give thanks, brethren. Kiki August, not Nikki. Kiki August, yes. Thank you, brethren. Y'all never let me down, man. Politically incorrect. Yeah, I love it. So go check Kiki August page out. Like I said, I put the link right there. Her links is on Facebook right here. Go check her page out. Go check it out. The link to this particular image, but you can always find her page through that. And check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Like I said, there's lots of videos on there and information that you might not get in mainstream media. So thank her for doing the research and making it known to the people what's going on in Guyana. For sure. Thank you, brethren. Anyhow, family. I think, man, it's like, what to play, right? What to play, what to play, what to play, what to play. I had another clip to play here, another link to share. Let's share the link. It said that Barbados to end second successive IMF program. We discussed it on Monday, Money Making Monday. But if we keep paying back the IMF for all this money so successfully, y'all know what that means, right? Because what's paying this money off is, guess what? Taxpayers' dollars. So yeah, we being heavily taxed. Heavily taxed. That's what's going on, man. But if I gotta play a song, if I gotta choose a song to play, if I have to choose a song to play, y'all already know what song I'm gonna play, man. And I don't mean to keep going over this thing like this, but There's certain songs I know I would play and they won't tell me nothing. So I gonna play this one because I know they ain't gonna tell me a word. But not only that,
Let's rise. We're gonna rise and shine.
it's a message. Haile Selassie first, Empress Reserve Menin, one perfect balance, family. It's time to rise and shine, man. Joe, time to rise and
This is
shine,
the
man.
cry of a people who for over 400 years have been enslaved in mental bondage. A people who with their blood, their sweat, their tears, and their hands
Young Adriana.
built the great cities of Babylon. Only to be paid with the
I
wages of
start
the
to do the right thing, man.
the sword, and the gun. We've been down in the poverty much too long. We've been down in the slavery oh so long. We've been down in humility much too long.
Too long, family.
We've been down in the valley so long. So we're gonna rise and shine and win your liberation. For now's the time when all nations must be free. So rise and shine, restore your strength and power. Waste no more time. Remember your history.
All the youth that was done wrong. Directly. Yeah.
We've been down in the poverty much too long. We've been down in humility oh so long. We've been down in the
Make sure you like and subscribe, family. Click the notification bell. Make sure you click all notifications. Tell a friend for sure, family. Rise and shine.
And win your liberations. For now's the time when all nations must be free.
All nations must be free.
For the sake of the younger generations, putting hands in heart, in the mind, to brotherhood and unity.
Brotherhood and unity.
We're gonna rise.
Everybody after Pedro.
Restore your strength and power.
Rastafari forever.
Waste no more time. Remember your history. Don't repeat it. Just rise and shine. It's the morning sun that surrounds you. It's international morality time. Where mankind must be born anew.
Rise and shine, family.
Yes, you're gonna rise. Yes,
Fire, fire, fire.
yes, we're gonna rise. We're gonna rise, we're gonna rise, we're gonna rise, we're gonna rise. Oh yes. Remember the remember the jazz masters whip. Remember where you're from.
Remember where you're from, family. Go to the whole of Guyana, man. More strength to the whole Caribbean. One Caribbean, man.
Remember your history.
Big life.
We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We don't mean no harm. We don't mean no harm. We're just gonna get ourselves out. Oh yes. Oh yes. We're gonna rise.
Got the day. Kevin Green, man. Yes, family. All day, every day is how we live in this thing, man. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. You'll have an upful, joyful, peaceful, and reflective weekend and make it a strong one. We'll see each other, inshallah, on Monday. Money Making Monday. Rest well, family. Maximum respect. All day, every day. I can deal with the fish. I can deal with the fish. I can deal with the fish. Looking to change your lighting in the aquarium, man. Set a different mood. Rastafari.